Hi everyone, and welcome to Shlime Reviews. I'm Shlime, and in this video, I will be sharing some of the best and worst experiences that I've had throughout the first year of reviewing for my channel. But first, if you are new here, I want to again say welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoy this content. And now for our Shlime fam shoutouts. There are 4 of you: Aurora Stoltz, Caitlin Lee, Anushka Sareen, and Slime Girl. Thank you so much for all the support, and if you'd like a shout out like this, comment down below #ShlimeFam. And with that, let's get right into this video. So I wanted to do this video because I did have a lot of problems actually with one of the shops I reviewed recently, and I had a couple comments recommend doing a video like this because I have had my channel for over a year now, which is amazing. So I did want to share my experiences on what slime shops stood out to me and what shops I might not really want to order from again. So I did want to start off with the best experiences first. And I'm really bad on selecting like 5 shops. I am just going off of really what just stood out to me throughout this whole year. So if you want to use the chapters below, I have best and worst shop experiences and then best and worst shop textures. And at the very end, I will let you know who is my top favorite shop at the moment. Starting with best experiences, I have 7 shops. There were a lot of slime shops I reviewed this whole last year, and I honestly wish I included even more, but I really did have to narrow it down, so I just wanted to share why a lot of these shops did stand out to me. It might just be customer service, or extras, or both, but let's get into it. The first shop I want to bring up is Slime Obsidian. Slime Obsidian actually has a special place in my heart, I'm not gonna lie. It's because it was the first slime shop I ever ordered from. Their shipping is extremely fast. Granted, it probably depends on where you live, but I would always get my package within like 3 days. And that was even during the pandemic when it started. And I don't know, I just thought that was really impressive. They have amazing textures and scents. Most of their textures do last a long time, but their clear slimes can melt a bit faster than other slimes. One of the biggest reasons this shop did stand out to me is because back when I was having my Halloween special last year, I did receive a wrong slime instead of the slime I had ordered, which was Spooky Cubes. I quickly emailed them once I did realize that, and they actually got back to me within, I want to say, about a day or 2. It was very fast, and the email was extremely professional. They were immediately sorry, and they gave me the option of picking a slime or just waiting until they made more of that slime for another restock, and so I just chose to wait for them to make the slime, and it actually got to me just so fast. They were extremely professional, and even though they did make a mistake, they handled it very, very well. I have not ordered from this shop since the fall drop last year, and I really want to try them again very soon. Definitely one of my favorite shops because of how professional and on it they are with their orders, and I highly recommend trying them out if you haven't already. The next shop that stood out to me is Snoop Crunch. They are a Etsy shop, and I'm not gonna lie, like most Etsy shops, their shipping can be a bit expensive, but they did include a lot of extras for being a small shop. They have grown a lot since I ordered from them, and they definitely deserve it. They come out with a lot of slimes that are just so eye-catching. They did include a Starbucks gift card with my order, which I thought was just beyond kind, and also a free slime that was in a full-size container. And not only that, they did include a spray bottle for activating. I was just very impressed with all of the extras that they included, and I highly recommend trying a butter slime from their shop. Their scents are so good, but I won't lie, their clear slimes do melt pretty quick, but that's a lot of shops with their clear slimes unless they're coated, and even then they're gonna be melted, so that's the only thing I can say about it. Their butter slimes are seriously just so good, and I highly recommend trying them if you are into do-it-yourself clay slimes. The next shop that stood out to me is Peachybbies. I ordered from Peachybbies last year during the Black Friday deal. They had a buy 5 get 5, so I wound up with 10 slimes and I only paid for 5. That deal was just so amazing, and I do recommend following them on Instagram if they do another deal like that this year. I really wish I just had time to order from all of these shops again, because just looking at this whole list, I just wish I had more money and more time, because a lot of these slime shops are just absolutely amazing. I won't lie, I was nervous about the buy 5 get 5 because it's a lot of slime to pack an order, and I really thought there was going to be something missing from my order, and I thought maybe it would take about over a month or two to get to me because it was just a big deal, and I know a lot of people ordered from it, but let me just say, Peachybbies handled that deal like a boss, like a total boss. I got my package, I want to say, within less than a month. If it was less than a month, then it was a month. It wasn't that long, and I wasn't missing anything from my order. They even included a free squishy and a spray bottle with activator. I was just so impressed, and they even had a wristband with stickers. You can't go wrong with a wristband and stickers. You really, really can't. Their textures also age very well, and I highly recommend checking the shop out if you haven't already. The next shop I'd like to mention is Mush Slimes. This shop stood out to me for just a ton of different reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is because it was the first shop I've ever ordered from that was in South Africa. And the slime package got here so quick and safe for coming from South Africa. I want to say the package got here in about 2 weeks or so, and I was just very impressed. They had a very elegant and minimalist designed box that was customized with their logo, and they did include a free small slime. I think just knowing that this did travel so far and it arrived in such great condition, it just really stands out to me, and their textures and scents are very unique. Granted, their shipping is very expensive, but that is why they make their slime more affordable. If you can afford to try Mush Slimes at least once, I definitely recommend, especially if you buy from a lot of slime shops. This is a big change from like the usual textures you would try. The owner is also just so kind on Instagram. I could just say a lot of good things about this shop. It just really does stand out to me. The next shop I'd like to mention is Boba Bao, which is Christy's shop from YouTube. She is so kind as well. I speak to her on Instagram sometimes, and she is just such a sweetheart. But so the thing that really stood out to me about Christy's shop is that she runs her social media very well. She will do a lot of giveaways, and one thing that was really cool that happened to me when I ordered was she had a deal during the Christmas season where she had a restock, and the first order from that restock got a free Boba plushie. It was so cool, and I really didn't expect it. I did not think I was going to be the first order. And she does stuff like that a lot. It's just very fun and very active with the community. I also love her packaging. She has a customized box, and she even included a free slime with stickers. And her scents and textures are very good as well. When I ordered from her shop, there was a buy 3 get 2 free. She's very smart with how she runs her shop. I just really love a lot of what she does, and I highly recommend checking her out on Instagram. If you follow her shop, she will be sharing a lot of stuff that has to do with new restocks. I mean, honestly, most of these shops do that, but I just feel like Christy really puts a lot of time into like putting deals together for people. And if you can try one of the Boba plushies, they are very soft as well. A lot of good things to say about this shop too. Again, these are just all shops that really are just amazing, and yeah. Slimeowy really stood out to me because they just were very on it with their communication. I remember this shop was a little behind on their orders, and I even got an email saying basically sorry, and they were just working on it, and I hadn't even reached out to them at all. That's how much they wanted to just keep their customers updated on what was happening. And overall, their shipping was fast, and I love their scents and textures. They're very different. Their scent blends are just amazing. And Carmen really knows how to spoil her customers. There was just so much candy in my package. I felt so spoiled with love. It was amazing. And this was also the one slime shop I won a giveaway from. And so because of that, I got another package from Carmen, and there was even more candy in there. So that was really cool. She definitely does a lot of giveaways as well, so I would highly recommend following her on Instagram because she's also just so active in the community. And she also included a wristband with stickers. I don't know, that just is such a professional level. I love when shops do that. Slimeowy is definitely a shop you have to check out at least once. The last shop that I want to mention for best experience, and of course, no offense to anyone because I've dealt with a lot of amazing slime shops that aren't even going to be mentioned in this video, but the very top shop that just stood out to me as extremely impressive is Slime City B. I don't even know where to start here. The shop was dealing with a power outage, and so they were basically just updating through their Instagram story, like when they could actually get to their shipping. And I just thought that was cool because they could have actually got the package to me faster, and it was already to me really quickly. So I don't know. It was just really nice of them to be on it with communication. And my package was filled with so many extras. This was the most spoiled I ever felt with an order. There was bags of clay, bags of foam, there was so much candy, there was a wristband, there was stickers, there was a whole free slime, a mini free slime, and I'm sure there was even more that I'm forgetting to mention. I just was really blown away with all of the love that they put into like the extras for their customers. And their scent blends are absolutely amazing. I loved all of the scents so much. A couple of them were unscented, but the ones that were scented are so good. And the textures are amazing. Their clear slimes would melt a bit quicker, but again, a lot of slime shops with their clear slimes, they melt quick. And overall, I was just very impressed. And I honestly wasn't very aware of Slime City B being so professional. Like, I ordered from them because I just liked Animal Crossing, and it worked out where I saw their drop on Instagram. That was one of the best decisions of my life. I highly recommend you try this shop out if you haven't. Now we will be getting into the worst experiences, and I do want to just say that these two, it's only going to be two, these two slime shops I do not plan on purchasing from again. And if this upsets any of my followers, I am sorry, but I just feel like I could be putting my money into other shops that I think are more professional. And without further ado, I will go ahead and mention the first one, which is Hoshimi Slime. A little backstory, when I ordered from Hoshimi, I was still pretty new to slime, so in my review, which was about a year ago now, I wasn't really fully aware that some of the textures had little problems, and at the end of the day, when I started to learn more about slime textures, I wasn't a big fan of their textures. I just want to say that now because it's more of like an update of where I'm at with their shop. But the thing that stood out to me on why I wanted to order from them is because they were cheap and their slimes were kind of cute. I did enjoy a couple of their scents and about one of their textures from the 3 that I tried, but the biggest reason why I'm not going to be trying the shop is because of how unprofessional they are with their customers. I wasn't aware when I ordered from this shop, which was during a pandemic, that this shop doesn't use gloves when they pack and make big batches of slime. And to each their own. If someone doesn't mind that, then that's perfectly fine. But I personally do. I don't find that professional. And because I wasn't aware, I felt the need to spread the awareness. And through my last Instagram post sharing their slime, I did share that they didn't wear gloves. And I want to say it was within that day I received a comment from Hoshimi. And granted, before this, I had shared reviews of their slimes multiple times. I never got a comment from them up until I made this post. And they flat out said in a comment that they advise I don't purchase from them, which I don't know why there was ever a need to say that. I felt like that was something that was a little more of a given. I wasn't going to purchase from them. I think I even said that in my post. So I just find it very unprofessional that they reach out to the community like that. And of course, I was blocked from them, and I'm not trying to start any hate. I'm just saying that I would just be aware of this shop in that way if you weren't aware of that already. So this is one shop that I will not be purchasing from again. The other shop that I will not purchase from again, I do not even have clips for because I never received her slimes. It was Nichole Jacklyne, so I will be having just some slime play going on in the background that is not Nichole Jacklyne slime. Let me tell you, this is a rant right here, so if this is too much, definitely go to the chapters section. So to make this a little bit easier on myself, I did post on Instagram about my experience, so I'm gonna go ahead and read some of what I wrote on Instagram. I ordered a package with 5 slimes for the cost of $74.29, including shipping on March 9th. Nichole Jacklyne's FAQ asks for customers to be patient with shipping, and I understand that, especially with the pandemic going on. It also says the label will be printed within 5 business days, which was true. I was really impressed at first, and then a week went by, and then another week. I emailed the shop twice and had no response back. I then went to comment on some Instagram posts, and I did that on my personal account so they didn't know I was a slime reviewer. And what was interesting about it is in the first time I commented on her Instagram post asking about shipping, another comment was there asking the same question basically. Later the same day, the whole post was deleted, but I did take a screenshot. I was honestly really shocked, and so I tried and commented on 2 other Instagram posts, and I had no response at all. So really, if the shop would have updated me at all, I wouldn't be this upset, really. And I was upset for a while because I really didn't know what was going on with this package, and I was really waiting for close to 2 months. 2 months without a response or anything. But then I get an email one day, and I thought maybe it was finally going to be a response, but it was actually just announcing new Easter slime coming out. One of the slimes I bought was a St. Patrick's Day slime, and this was definitely just a first for me. A week after that, another email was sent to me promoting a slime workshop from her, and at that point, I was really just worried about my slime package. I was worried about the quality, just because it had been so long since I ordered, and I really tried Nichole Jacklyne's shop out because I know a lot of people wanted me to review her shop, and honestly, I always want to give every shop at least one chance. But I was really unhappy with this experience. I actually talked with a lot of folks on Instagram who had actually ordered from her, and half of the people said that their packages got there within a couple weeks. The other half said that the package got to them within 2 to 3 months and all of the slimes were melted. So if you do want to try out Nichole Jacklyne's shop, it's definitely just a gamble. And that's where my Instagram post ended. Shortly after posting all of what I basically just told you, I get a DM from Nichole Jacklyne along with a couple comments on my Instagram post. And just the way that she was responding to me made me feel like she didn't even read a lot of the problems I was having with her shop. I felt like she kind of skimmed over my post and then was just trying to get it removed from Instagram. And I say this too because she was very adamant about me taking down the Instagram post, and it's not that I want to spread hate, I just want to spread awareness because I don't think it's fair to others if they order from her and then they have to wait over 3 months for a package to arrive without getting any emails responded to. Granted though, when she was reaching out to me, I spoke to her a little bit and she gave me my refund very quickly, which I definitely appreciated because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really want her slime anymore. A lot of her answers were very vague on why I didn't have any answers for my email or where my package was. It just kind of seemed like the slimes I ordered just weren't around anymore. I'm still honestly very confused about what happened with this shop. But so I did get my refund, and the other weird thing about it was about a month after I finally got my refund from her, I get an email responding to my old email I had sent to her saying that the slimes that I ordered were no longer in stock and that they were sorry for the inconvenience and that they're moving their business to a fulfillment center. So I don't know what all of this has to do with my order, but then she tried to give me a 30% off code. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of excuses for not keeping up communication. And I'm not gonna lie, this was the absolute worst experience I've ever had with any shop ever, not even a slime shop. I've never experienced something like this before. Granted, I'm not really a shopaholic. I don't order from all these places, but I was very disappointed with how Nichole was handling her business. And I can only hope that she fixes the problems that I am saying to you, and hopefully going forward things get better. But at the end of the day, I feel bad for anyone who doesn't have a social media account like mine, where you don't have a following and you can't just easily spread the word like I am. I don't know how others would have got their refund or message answered from her. I had to literally post on Instagram to get any response back, and I just very wrong. It's just wrong. It's so wrong. And I should have honestly shared this story months ago, but I don't like being somewhat negative, but I really just had a very negative experience with this shop, and I do not recommend anyone try them. Okay, so I'm going to get into this next part a bit quicker because I know I've been rambling quite a bit. So we're going to go on to worst textures. These are shops that I had a decent amount of problems with their textures to where I feel like it should be something to be aware of, but I would definitely try these shops again going forward. And there's only 3, so I think I've had pretty good luck within this whole year to have 3. So Here we go. The first one is Sonria. This is a shop that I ordered from when I was very naive to slime. It was a cheap shop, and anything cheap when you're new into slime is just awesome. So I used to order from Sonria quite a bit, actually. And now when I see her slimes, there's only really one slime I recommend, and it's one of her best sellers, and that is the cookie dough slime. I love the scent, and it holds up very nicely. But a lot of the other slimes, they melt, they're tacky. I'm not a huge fan of like the scents on them. There's also a whole debate going on about Sonria's ounce sizes because she'll use the same ounce sizes but say that they're different type sizes. So that's just something to keep in mind. That's a whole other discussion, honestly, but just something to keep in mind. The texture that I had the biggest problem with at this shop was their cloud texture. I actually ordered this texture twice, and I had the same problem. It was very tough to stretch and fluff up. The drizzle was very slow. It was honestly just a workout for me, and I just didn't enjoy the cloud textures. If anyone feels differently, definitely let me know, but that's a texture that I do not recommend if you do try her shop. I honestly just really recommend the cookie dough slime. The next shop that I had some problems with is actually no longer open. They are closed indefinitely, I believe. And this is My Slime Shack, which was ran by Courtney, who is a YouTuber. I never reached out to the shop about the problems I had, and I sort of regret it now. I'm trying to do better about that, but the problems I did have with this shop, I ordered a do-it-yourself clay slime from them, and the base was just so tacky all around, and the clay piece was like deflated and kind of stuck to the container. It was just not a good presentation, and I remember that slime was like a lavender latte theme, and it was just scented as coffee, and it just didn't seem right with the purple aesthetic. I just really didn't like that slime. But the other slime I had a problem with was her jelly slime. The biggest problem I had with it was that there was a big hair on top, and that really threw things off for me. But the other issue was that slime was just tacky. It was a tacky jelly slime. I could never get it to not be tacky, and I wasn't a fan of the scent. I mean, it was a pretty color, but those two slimes I was very unhappy with. The other slimes I ordered from her were not bad. I could enjoy them and play with them, but I don't know, I kind of wanted to try her shop again. So it's honestly a little unfortunate that they closed, but possibly for the best if they wanted to move on to other stuff. And the last shop that I had problems with their textures is Corn with Slime, and this is a newer review I just did recently. And this is hard for me too because I have very mixed feelings with this shop. Their shipping was very good, their customer service is very good, but I had problems with their slimes, and there wasn't really a solution to these problems except that they were going to work on it, is what they told me, because they did email and comment on my last video that I reviewed of theirs, and they were just reassuring that they are working on fixing the problems I had. But then I started having other problems after that, and I don't have a solution for it. I don't know. Let me just go ahead and say that I'm going to show you some clips that I usually put on my Instagram as Slimes of the Day, but I felt like it should be seen on here because these slimes are only a month old that I'm about to show you, and a lot of them I did not activate much at all. And I treat all of my slimes the same, you know, I do. So there's no reason for them to be acting different. So I'll go ahead and show the do-it-yourself clay slime first. This, now that it's been sitting a month, is just very stiff. It's hard to stretch, and I have sensitive joints, so it's not something I enjoy trying to mess around with when textures get like this. So it was very odd to have the slime that was sticky and tacky become tacky and kind of stiff, because it still had that little tackiness to it. It was odd, and the shop did share that they are no longer selling milky clear base do-it-yourself clay slimes at the moment until they fix that problem, so I hope that that is true because this is not a good slime in my opinion. The other slime I had a problem with that I still kind of have a problem with is the jelly slime. When it originally arrived, it had a lot of bubbles on top, which showed that it was still deflating when they packed it. And in their message, they did reassure that they were going to let their slime sit longer before packing, but this slime was also a bit overactivated, and it was still quite a bit overactivated. And not only that, but the charm that they used for this slime left debris. It's a whole, you know, it's all in the review. I'm kind of repeating myself, but there are just problems I've had with these slimes. But the slime that really made me sad was Thai Tea Boba. That was one of my favorite slimes from Corn with Slime shop, and somehow it just became very stiff. There's no bead fallout, which is odd though, but it's very like tough. The more I try to fluff it up, it wants to just get tougher. And it's a very big disappointment. I was honestly very upset when I realized this because, you know, I said for one it was a 10 out of 10 slime, and then it just became not a 10 out of 10 slime over a month, and I really don't know how that happened. But their icy texture also became a little bit tough to stretch as well. It would just tear a bit easier. I really only have one slime out of the 5 that I enjoy now playing with. And the other thing to be aware of with this shop is that they use 10-ounce size containers when you buy 8-ounce size, so it looks like your container is underfilled, which is just something to keep in mind because I didn't know that. But yeah, overall, I just had a lot of problems with the textures, and I don't even have answers to what happened with them, and I'm more than happy to try the shop out again in the future to see if they either fix the problems I had or if maybe I just had a bad batch with a lot of these. I'm not sure. Truly no hate to any of these shops. These are just the experiences that I had with some of their slimes. Now we're going to end on a positive note, and I'm going to share the best textures I've had from slime shops, and then share my favorite slime shop. So for best textures, I do have 6 shops to share. I have to start with Slime City B. It's just their scents are really, really good, and they have amazing thick and glossy textures. And they had such a creamy, inflatable, sizzly clay slime. Their clear slimes do melt pretty quick, like a lot of clear slimes do, but I had no complaints really. I really enjoyed the scents and textures from that shop, and I definitely recommend a thick and glossy or a clay slime. The next shop that stood out to me for textures is Kawaii. So let me tell you why Kawaii wasn't on the best experience, but they were on textures. So I do have some problems with Kawaii's packaging, as cute as it is, because I find Kawaii's packaging to be adorable. But one of the small reasons why I do have problems with Kawaii's packaging is that their labeling is only on half of their slimes. There's a lot of slimes with no labeling, and that can get a little confusing if you order a lot of slime. The other thing is some of their containers do not seal all the way. Like, you will need another container to either keep the slime fresher or to put like the extra slime if it's a do-it-yourself. And the other thing as well is that there's no ounce sizing on their website. So when I go to order slime, sometimes I don't even know how big the slime is. And granted, I could probably email them or send them a message on Instagram, but I just felt like that was something that they should include. Some of their slimes had ounce sizes, but a lot of them didn't. So I just wanted to throw that out there, but regardless of all of that, their textures and scents are amazing. Seriously, some of the best. I can't say enough. There's too many shops I want to try again and again and again, and it's either I don't have enough time or money or whatever it is, but Kawaii is definitely a shop that I could just always order from, even with all those problems I just said. There's a lot of great textures. Kawaii definitely had the best cloud slime I've ever tried so far. It lasts a long time. Their ice cream pints are a must. You have to honestly at least order one every time you order from Kawaii. Their clear slimes are just amazing. There's just so many good textures. I don't even know if there's a texture I would warn you about. Honestly, all of their textures are just wonderful. I haven't tried all of them, so I'm still a little naive to the shop myself. But yeah, I don't have any textures to warn you about. I really enjoy a lot of what this shop has to offer. I just wish that they would fix the tiny problems that I shared. Overall, their slimes age very, very well, and I highly recommend trying them out if you haven't already. The next shop is Peachybbies. I absolutely love their scents and textures. Their scents can have a slight perfumey hint to it, but it's really not bad. And their textures just age very well. I love when I get some slimes that just can sit around for a while and I don't have to worry about activating them. And Peachybbies do-it-yourself clay slimes and coated clears and their jellies, they all age very, very well. I'm honestly the most in love with their do-it-yourself clay slimes because they're just so poofy and thick. Their jelly slimes I definitely do recommend as well, but those are the only slimes where I had some problems with the tackiness as they were inflated, but a lot of jelly slimes get tacky when they're inflated. Regardless, I definitely recommend either a coated clear slime or a do-it-yourself clay slime because those were my 2 favorites I've had from this shop. The next shop is Momo. I love Momo's scents and textures. They are just on another level. I really, really love them. They're just addicting. But if I'm honest, their textures don't age the best. They do melt down pretty quickly, but when you activate them well, they aren't tacky and they bounce back very well. And it's hard to put the slime away once it is activated right because the scent and just how unique the texture is, it's usually just so fluffy if you get a clay slime. Like, they're just so fun. The only texture that does age quicker was their Snow Fizz. I felt like it dried out a bit faster than the others because I didn't play with it that much, but it didn't like fluff the same after a couple months, which I do feel is very common in a lot of Snow Fizz textures. They're do-it-yourself clay slimes and they're coated clears and they're jellies. They're very, very good. I highly recommend, but especially the do-it-yourself clay slimes. The next shop is Mush Slimes. I know I keep saying it, but I am gonna say it again. I am obsessed about their icing textures. It's so good and unique. You have to try it if you play with a lot of slime. Like, it's just so different. It's kind of refreshing because it's so different. They put a lot of lotion and body cream into their slimes because they don't really get white glue over there to make their slimes. So they use clear glue as the base for most of their textures. And it's just very awesome. Like, really, their textures are aging so well. Like, I thought the icing texture was going to get either wet or stiff or I don't know. I thought it wasn't going to age as well as it is, but it's aging very, very good. And it like leaves your hands feeling moisturized afterward. I'm not going to lie, their clear slimes definitely melt quicker. But again, I keep saying it, a lot of clear slimes just melt very fast. It's nothing new, but also their cloud slime did lose its fluff after about a month or so, which can also be very common. It's kind of rare to find a cloud slime that fluffs after a couple months, but this is just how much I love the shop's jelly texture and their icing texture. It's on another level. And their jelly texture, it does become tacky with inflation, but it stays activated for so long. I don't know why. I love their jelly and icing textures just so much. It's seriously some of my top favorite. I can't help it. I highly recommend a jelly and an icing texture if you try the shop out. So the last slime for best textures is Rodem. They have just amazing scents and textures. They age very, very well overall. Some of their clear slimes do melt a bit faster, but I am just so obsessed with so many of their textures and scents. I only had one scent that was kind of whatever, and that was really just because I think the beads in it made the slime smell like a little bit more of a plastic. And even then, the scent was still good. Like, I don't really have a problem with this shop. Like, it's mostly just all positive, and I cannot lie. I want to try every single slime that this shop puts out. It's just crazy. I am addicted to their coated jellies, their do-it-yourself clay slimes, and their snow fizzes. They have very eye-catching slimes. They're very unique. There's some really cool crunch bomb slimes that they make. A lot of their slimes are not tacky when they're inflated. I highly recommend trying a coated jelly or a do-it-yourself clay slime or a snow fizz because they are really, really good. The snow fizz might age a bit faster than the other two, but regardless, I can't say enough good stuff about Rodem. They are seriously one of the go-to slimes on my shelf that I like to grab. So the question really is now, which slime shop was my favorite of the year? I had a lot of shops I wanted to even put in this video that I didn't. This is a very hard decision, and here's something to know about me is I am an indecisive person. There's no way I can pick one slime shop. There's just no way. I can't do it. So I have a tie, and my two favorite slime shops at this moment have to be Mush Slimes and Rodem Slimes. These are the two slime shops I want to order all of their slimes. I get like little butterflies in my stomach, and there's nothing wrong with any of the other slime shops I mentioned. It's just these shops have very unique textures and scents that make me never want to put their slimes away. And it's not to say no other shops have slimes like that, but I don't know how to fully explain how I'm feeling about these two shops. But they have a big seal of approval for me, and I highly recommend if you haven't tried either one of these out, do. And let me know your experience. Like, comment down below, or if you feel differently, just comment below if you feel differently or agree with any of what I'm saying in this video. Because, at the end of the day, this is all personal preferences, and this is all my experiences. But yeah, those are my two favorite shops of the year. I really appreciate you sticking around for the whole video if you did. I'm gonna have links down in my description to all of the reviews of the shops that I mentioned in this video, so you can look back at maybe what I'm mentioning or whatever. If you're just bored, go ahead and check those out. I'm really happy to be able to do a video like this once a year, because to think about a whole year worth of slime, there's definitely ones that stand out to you, and I hope that this can maybe help you if you're feeling overwhelmed with what's shops to check out right now, because I know I get overwhelmed for sure. Also, if you're curious, I'm on Instagram, so follow me if you'd like to see daily Schlimes and just Schlimes. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.